Hey everybody, welcome to WEEZCAST. I'm your host Aiden Morton with your co-host
Caleb Chassis
and
Prindler.
And we have our special guest today,
Caleb Prindler.
So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through each Weezer album from first to last. We're going to be listening through it. Today we're going to be listening to the Blue album, which was released in '94. It's their first album. It's widely considered to be their best album. So we'll listen to that, and then we will be back to discuss it. All right, so we just finished listening to the Blue album on vinyl. So to start it off, I'm curious, Caleb, what you think overall, just because probably most of the Weezer songs that you have heard are not anything like this. You're probably more familiar with more of their newer stuff that's more like uppity and more produced and more poppy, whereas this album is a lot more like grungy rock, garage rock.
Yeah, but I kind of like that vibe, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I like the newer stuff too, but I don't know. The old stuff, it's a different vibe, but I like it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, overall, like, I don't know, it was a decent album. I liked most of the songs to varying degrees, but like I liked basically all of them. Yeah, it's like doesn't like stand out to me as like phenomenal necessarily, but like I would listen to it again.
Okay. I'm actually pretty surprised with your answer. I really wasn't too sure what you would think of it.
What was your favorite song on the album?
I really liked Surf Wax America.
Okay.
Just the chorus is really catchy.
It is, yeah.
I find Surf Wax America as well as it's like a very fun, summery vibe song, which is something that's like a reoccurring thing with Weezer.
That's what I liked, is that it's just kind of fun. It's a fun song.
That one was definitely one of my favorites when I listened to that album like regularly, and this time I found I didn't like it as much as I used to.
Same.
I found it like there was too much drums or whatever, but I don't know, maybe I should save that for when we talk about that song.
Yeah. It's interesting too that like it really does sound different on vinyl. Different things stand out more, especially I find the backing vocals. In a lot of the songs there's stuff that I didn't notice other times.
That's true.
So let's start off with the first song, and Caleb or CJC Caleb, not you. Not our guest. I'll have you start off with My Name is Jonas. If you have anything particular you wanted to say about it.
All right, so it's like one of my favorite songs on the album. It's not my favorite, but it's one of my favorites. I like the opening guitar solo. It's smoothing. It gives the chill vibes. It's just nice to listen to. And then the way it picks up with the rock and the guitar and the drums is really nice. So I like to listen to a lot more of the music than the lyrics. But music stands out to me more than the lyrics. So, and the solo in it is also amazing. So
yeah, I like that. I feel like I might be mistaken, but I feel like there's two different solo parts in it.
Yes, there is.
And the second one, I like that it adds in the harmonica, which they do in a couple of the songs.
I didn't even write anything about the solos. Maybe I wasn't paying attention enough. What I had written down was that it's kind of annoying. I do find that song, I don't know why, it just irritates me. Like, maybe because he keeps saying his name is Jonas when it's not. And I don't understand the lyrics either. So there's not really anything about the song that I particularly like, but it's not horrible or unbearable either. It's just
okay.
Yeah, I kind of am a hybrid of those two answers because like I could not tell what the song was about. I'm like,
I've listened to it 100 times and I don't even know.
I looked up the lyrics and I still don't know.
But I do like that guitar like finger plucking part
On the acoustic.
Yeah,
that's one of the main things that I noted about it is like it's cool how it's the start of the album. It starts out with that like really intricate like picking
nice sounding,
on the acoustic guitar, and then all of a sudden just really hits hard with the like grungy electric guitar,
which I also like that too.
So like it's
just like kind of like a standard like good rock song for most of it, and then no idea what it's about though. The chorus was like, or not the chorus, the bridge. I was like, was this about communism or something?
I did like the verses for that song. I feel like I like the melody for the verses of My Name is Jonas.
okay.
but not the chorus.
I'd say my favorite part of the song is the workers are going home. Because it's cool how he sings it a couple times, and then each time he does it, they add backing vocals, which I'm not 100% sure. I know, like, all of the members in the band do backing vocals sometimes. I think that all of those higher pitch backing vocals on the Blue album, like, none of them are Rivers. It's the others. I think it's mostly Matt Sharp, actually, who then left the band after the Green album. But I like that they really, like, the melody and the harmony, like, together was very nice for the bridge. Like, I like that build up of the workers are going home, and also whenever it's the end of the day at work, I often think about that song. Like, it just, because the workers really are going home.
The end of the day from work can be euphoric sometimes.
So My Name is Jonas is an excellent reminder of that, if nothing else.
Next song?
Yeah, No One Else.
Would you like me to start?
Sure.
Since I'm so excited to do this one.
Absolutely.
I love the chorus of the song so much. It's like not the lyrics so much, but it just sounds so good to me and gives me such good feelings. Like, I don't know. It's just the feeling of him, I guess, recognizing his self-worth and wanting a girl that, you know, he actually wants, that kind of idea. Even though when you look closer at the lyrics, it's really stupid and unrealistic. But just to listen to, it just sounds nice and has good vibes.
Yeah, I can appreciate that too, because, like, again, trying to figure out what the song was about, I'm like, it's kind of like a love song, only it's like he's more in love with this hypothetical girl that he wants to be with instead of the girl he's actually with. And I found it ironic that the song is called No One Else when he wants to be with someone else besides the girl. Like, he's like complaining that she's always like looking at other guys or something, and then he's like falling for some girl he made up in his head, which I just thought was funny. Or that's what I picked up from it anyway.
Do you have anything to say about that one?
Yes, so I do agree with Caleb and Steven. But one thing I like about Weezer songs in general, about the love songs specifically, is how most of them don't talk about a specific girl. I mean, there are a few songs, but I like how a lot of his love songs don't talk about specific girls. So this one is kind of talking about his idea of his perfect girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
My thoughts on this one are actually a little bit different. My immediate, like, this isn't one that I've listened to over and over again. Like, I don't have it on any of my playlists or anything. It's not, like, one of my favorite Weezer songs. But the thing that came to mind this time listening through is, like, wow, he's really insecure. Like, he's like a jealous boyfriend that he wants a girl that will laugh for no one else. Like, he doesn't want anyone else making his girl laugh.
Yeah.
He wants her to stay at home when he's not around. And, like, he says something about putting the makeup on the shelf when he's gone. Like, she's not trying to pretty herself up or anything because she doesn't want he wants her to not want the attention of other boys. And then there was a line too about having eyeballs in the back of her head.
Yeah.
Which I get that he doesn't literally mean there's eyeballs in the back of her head.
Well, yeah, I took that to mean like she's always looking at like other guys or something.
I didn't get that from that, but
I thought it meant she was like overbearing is what I thought it meant.
okay.
Like, won't leave him alone. She's always seeing what he's doing, kind of thing.
That's what he wants.
No, like, he's talking about his actual girl.
Oh, okay.
That he has, that he doesn't want.
Huh.
I thought it was funny that he says, if you see her, tell her that we're through. Like, why doesn't he tell her?
I thought
himself?
my understanding of that line was that, like, he's saying, if you see her, tell her that you're through. Like, that, like, you don't want to have anything to do with her.
I feel like,
But I wasn't reading the lyrics along with it, so I could definitely be
I didn't know there were
misinterpreting
so
that.
many interpretations to this song.
I know, it's interesting to
But
get different takes.
musically,
Yeah,
I
it
did
is.
enjoy
Yeah,
the melody.
It's pretty catchy.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's chill.
That's the takeaway.
Any other thoughts on that song before we go to The World Has Turned and Left Me Here?
I'm good.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. The World Has Turned and Left Me Here. I feel like it's kind of like a catchy breakup song.
That's exactly what I wrote.
It's really, I wrote catchy breakup song. Really cool backing vocals and harmonies. Another really nice usage of the acoustic with the electric. That's basically like all I put with it. It's just like, it's kind of generic. It doesn't really stand out a whole lot, which makes me kind of feel like it would fit in more on the Green album. but we'll get to that on the next.
You wrote for that song that the songs are starting to sound like similar to each other. But then that changes with the later songs. They're more unique.
Like a lot of them, not literally, but it almost seems like Rivers never does upstrokes on the guitar. It's the electric guitar is always complete downstrokes. Now that I
realize it?
Yeah. Like especially in Holiday, which we'll get to, I notice it's like every hit of the guitar he's strumming down. It's like a very steady chug almost to it. But that's all I have to say about The World Has Turned and Left Me Here.
I also wrote that one is forgettable. The lyrics are good. I really do like the way that the lyrics are written, but I felt like the music didn't match the music very well. It was kind of a confusing vibe, and I didn't like that there was a lot of musical tension without any relief. It just felt like you were kind of waiting for, you know, for the music to kind of come in like and relieve the tension that it was building up, but it doesn't really do that, so it leaves me feeling like not wanting to listen to it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So I really like for this song, I really like the opening guitar. It is similar to most of the song in general, but it's simple. The whole song is simple, like in a way. It's like just slow, and it's just simple in multiple ways, but yeah.
Moving on to the absolute iconic banger, Buddy Holly. Does anybody in particular want to start off Buddy Holly?
I do.
Go for it.
I love this song for a few reasons. I actually do like Buddy Holly, and I like that the song is very like 50s nostalgic as far as the lyrics are concerned, and I love that 50s nostalgia. And of course the music is just so catchy, and like there's not really anything negative to say about it. It's just a good song. I'd listen to it any day of the week. Good happy vibes.
Yeah, and actually, like the music. Have you seen the music video for that song?
I haven't.
It's actually filmed on the set of the show Happy Days and has the characters from Happy Days in it. Like they're performing at the restaurant that most of Happy Days takes place at.
I do need to watch the video.
I'm thinking after we go through all the albums, we should do like an additional like part of the series where we discuss the music videos. But
interesting.
Caleb, what do you think?
I feel like I don't understand the entire analogy of the song of like who is Buddy Holly and who is Mary Moore or whoever that is.
Okay.
Mary Tyler Moore.
Yeah, okay.
Is she from Happy Days?
I don't think so. I think she's another old singer. Wait, no, there's the Mary Tyler Moore Show. I don't know, I feel so uncultured.
I'm guessing these two are in love.
Maybe.
You know, I don't know. It's just like, you know, when people reference Romeo and Juliet, everyone knows exactly what they're talking about, but like Buddy Holly and Mary Tyler Moore.
Only Rivers knows.
It's like, okay. But it was a good song. I enjoyed it.
CGC, what did you have to say about Buddy Holly?
So it's definitely one of the better songs on the album. The melody and the way how it picks up and the way how the song presents itself is really good, I find. It's kind of the same message as what they were saying. It's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet kind of situation. Don't care what people think. Some of the people that they speak about, I did not know. That was one thing that I do not know about. But yeah.
Okay. The one thing I love that the beginning of the song sounds almost Western. The ooey ooey ooh.
Oh yeah.
It always makes me think of like a Western vibe.
I didn't notice.
You never noticed that little lead? What's with these homies dissing my girl? Why do they got a front? Ooey ooey ooh.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Almost like that little doo doo doo.
That's funny.
But yeah, like this song, his girlfriend is being made fun of, essentially, and to my understanding, actually, is that she's being made fun of because she's Asian. Like in the second verse, he talks about, like he says, your tongue is twisted, your eyes are slit, you need a guardian, and he's like singing about being her protector, basically.
Interesting.
Because
I did wonder what those lyrics were talking about.
Yeah, because like Rivers has always very like clearly had a thing for Asian women.
That's true.
No idea.
But yeah, the only other thing I really had to say about that is actually multiple things. the pre-chorus, has a really nice build with the ooh oohs, and like
Yes.
and then going back into it, the bridge has. I never noticed before that. Like I thought of it kind of just how it's like he's hitting the power chords and then doing scratches, but there's actually pinch harmonics in there.
Really?
Like you can I noticed listening to it this time that you can really hear the pinch harmonics, which are actually hard to do when doing scratching. So it's almost like he's scratching and getting the pinch harmonics in there. So like I feel like it'd be difficult to learn. I'd actually be curious to try to learn it, but it almost sounds sloppy, but it's so intricate. And then the last thing about Buddy Holly is that
Yeah.
back into the chorus, it's like a shot of adrenaline to like just push back into the chorus. Like I just how everything else drops and the guitar does that. I feel like that's definitely in the top 3 most iconic moments of the whole album. That right there.
I agree.
I think we all agree that's one of the best.
It's pretty good.
I feel like Caleb Prindler should start out with his opinion of the Sweater song, because I'm really curious as to what he thinks about it, because I kind of have an explanation for the things that you're probably going to say about it, but so I'm curious to hear what you have to say first.
Okay, so I'm just gonna read my notes. What the heck is this song? I don't hate it, it's just nonsense. I changed my mind. Some parts are really annoying.
Wow.
Can I go next?
Yeah, absolutely.
I wrote, unintelligible. I like how he says away. The chorus is nice. Half of it is barely audible, boring conversation. And the beginning and the end are long and annoying. And the ending especially was just awful. Like, I would never, ever put myself through that again voluntarily.
Really?
I wanted to just cover my ears. That ending was awful.
Okay. That's an interesting theory. CJC, what do you think?
So the way how the Sweater song, like the guitar in the beginning's kind of soothing and nice, I really like that. And the solo in between of it was also really nice. It made a comeback into the song. And another solo comes again, and that also hits with the vocals. So I also really like that. So yeah.
Okay. The initial thing that sticks out to me is the bass line, because the bass line's really simple, but it really sets a steady pace for the song that they build on. That I really enjoy. Then I like that the first time he does the chorus, he cuts off halfway. He doesn't do the full chorus. Then it goes back to the verse, and then when he does it, it builds a lot heavier. And then it adds the oh, 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 woes after the if you want to destroy my sweater, oh, 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 whoa, pull this thread. Because that's not in the first chorus. So then it's almost like having known the song for so long, every time I hear the first chorus, it just makes me so hungry for the second chorus, because it's like, oh yeah. Similar to in Say It Ain't So, how it has the wow, wow in the second chorus and then forward. You know what I'm talking about.
It's
right?
in between each line.
Yeah, between each line, it does that. First chorus, it doesn't
yeah.
do that. It makes you wait for it. But, and then concerning what the song's about, because you're saying it's unintelligible or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the song is about loneliness, basically. And like he's saying, pull this thread as I walk away. Watch me unravel, I'll soon be naked. He's not literally saying that somebody's destroying a sweater and that he's going to be naked. It's like a girl has broken up with him and leaving with a piece of him. And he's feeling like he has nothing left. Like he's feeling emotionally vulnerable. And so like naked, so to speak. So it's not like, wow, Rivers is a real freak. Even though he definitely is.
Yeah.
He's like a real freaky dude. Yeah.
That makes sense now.
So Caleb, you said Surf Wax America is your favorite, so that is the next song.
Yeah.
Give us your thoughts on that.
I just like how fun it is, because it's just like, I don't know, summertime, get away on your surfboard, you know, you escape life kind of, you know, and then it's like,
Have you ever been surfing?
no, but it sounds like a lot of fun. You know, it also looks kind of hard, but like, Yeah, like the chorus, you know, you take your car to work, I'll take my board.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be singing that later probably, but anyway, cause yeah, it's just like, you know, life, you know, just taking your car to work all the time, boring, dreary routine. It's like surfing sounds so much better.
Same alu gobi.
Huh? Oh yes. Okay, I
It's
understand.
the same dull routines.
Yeah, that's funny.
I feel like we have a pattern of Caleb, me, you, Caleb.
I feel like it's more Caleb, you, Caleb, me.
Yeah.
I kind of like wrap it up after because I feel like I have a lot to say, but probably a lot of the things are a repeat of what you guys are saying. So I'd rather let you guys say it.
Okay. Well, do you want to switch it up or keep going?
Go,
with the same
please,
bit?
by all means, go ahead.
I do love the vibe of Surf Wax America. It's like Caleb said, it's just that freedom feeling, getting away from the rat race. He even says that he uses. I do like how the lyrics are written too. How he uses similes like the water's foaming like a bottle of beer. You know, it really kind of draws you into that vivid picture of surfing on the ocean. And I also wrote the twist in the middle, which this is the first time I actually noticed it. Obviously, you notice the change in the music. It shifts to go like really slow and kind of somber. But I never actually knew what he was talking about until this time when I was reading the lyrics as we were listening. He's talking about he got pulled away in the undertow and drowned. So the whole song, you're like kind of enjoying the fun
Wait, what?
spirit of freedom and getting away. Yeah, he says, and then the
Drowns?
undertow gets too strong and now I can never go home.
Oh.
So he literally goes out surfing and drowns. And then the rest of the song, it picks up again and it's the same beat and it's the same tune, but it feels like sad after that.
I never noticed that before, but yeah, that's...
Yeah, this is the first time. And I'm like, wow, I actually really appreciated that because it just, you know, completely throws you for a loop and you don't
So
expect
dark.
it. Yeah. Especially when you know the song.
Yeah.
But you don't know that.
It's clever,
like,
though.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It does, like,
Yeah.
it pulls emotion.
Yeah.
Caleb?
So I don't really have much to say about this song. I guess just the idea of doing something new than just driving your car really stand it out for me. Doing something to enjoy life, and then it turns out to be a shorter end of life, I guess. But that's all I have to say really about it.
Okay. Do you want to start off Say It Ain't So?
Heck yeah.
I feel like that's probably your favorite song on the album, right?
Heck yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
have anything to say about Surf Wax America?
No, just the stuff that I had said earlier about it being like the fun summer vibe. It's like a Weezer staple that's like very them. And I feel like that's the first... That song is the most like that on the Blue album. So it's kind of like what kicks it off for Weezer in that regard.
So Saying So is one of my favorite songs actually of all time by Weezer. It's like a nice and chill song. It does pick up, but before it picks up, it starts the song with a nice and chill kind of vibe, and then when it gets to the second chorus, it like picks up and makes it feel a lot more heartfelt, I should say. Hold on, I gotta get back to it. And I think my interpretation of the song, I think he's talking about his dad and about how he grew up with his dad and the way how his dad made decisions. That's what I got most out of it. And the way how he wants to fix his relationship with his dad but doesn't know if he can.
I'll go next, actually, if that's okay for this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, actually going off of what Caleb's saying. So Rivers was raised... I guess he was... I got a little bit confused. It's from the sounds of it, he was raised like literally in Buddhist temples, and his family was Buddhist, and his dad was an alcoholic. That's why he's saying somebody's Heine, like Heineken beer, is crowning my icebox and stuff like. So the Say It Ain't So is about how his dad was an alcoholic, and then in the bridge he says, "You cleaned up, found Jesus." So actually, his dad ended up becoming a born again Christian and a pastor. Which unfortunately Rivers has not done. That'd be really cool if Rivers got saved and started making Christian music. But
Good Christian music.
yeah, so so it is very much like Caleb saying about his relationship with his dad. And as far as like the music goes, it feels different than every other song on the album in the regard to the production quality. Sounds like it's way up there.
Yeah, it's way up.
Everything else sounds like they set up the mic and it's like heavy grungy garage rock, but that intro is so crisp and clean, and then it comes in with that grungy guitar like on top of it, but it's just so well produced. It's like, I don't know, it's an absolute masterpiece, I think.
Yes, I agree.
Yep. And did you want to go next?
Sure. Yeah, I really liked the vibe of that song. It was really good, but I was also like couldn't quite tell what it was about. But I could tell there were some like darker undertones, and I actually wrote down like I suspected it had something to do with alcoholism. But yeah, thanks for filling in the background details. It's nice to have someone who's like the wiki for Weezer, you know?
Yeah,
Weezerpedia.
Yeah.
that's me. Weezerpede for short.
I've always loved Say It Ain't So because it's just immediately satisfying. As soon as you hear the chorus, it's like, this is great. You know, even if you have no idea who does it or what they're saying, it's like, this sounds awesome. So, you know, it's a good song just for every occasion, just because it sounds great. I never really understood the lyrics before, so knowing that, maybe I'll appreciate it more. It does have a little bit of a sad kind of tone, because it's not like a super happy sounding song. It's just, I don't know, just sounds good. But yeah, I also liked the guitar solo.
Yeah, a cool thing with the solo is I like that it does the do 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 do, and then it's like the second part is almost like it's like an echo almost. It's almost like, even though it's one guitar, it's like, I'm pretty sure Rivers does the soloing, and then I guess it would be Matt Sharp. I think Matt Sharp does bass.
Yeah,
I'm not sure who did the rhythm electric guitar on the Blue album, but so it's one guitar, but it sounds almost like the guitar is like saying something, and then another guitar is like repeating it back to it. I kind of think of it like that.
Interesting.
But like Say It Ain't So is the first Weezer song I remember ever hearing, because it was on the iPod Touch version of Guitar Hero, and I loved that song. And even before I listened to Weezer, I bought the Weezer pack on Guitar Hero. Wow. And I still have that iPod, and once in a while I'll charge it up and play those songs, and it's a lot of fun. Next is In the Garage. Who wants to talk about it?
Probably shouldn't start with me because I did not like that one.
Really?
Same.
Yeah, I didn't really care for that one either, honestly. But I felt like the song was almost meant to sound that way. If that
Me
makes sense.
too.
Because he's singing about like how he's in the garage and no one can hear him, so it's like nobody cares. So it's almost like it's not supposed to sound great because he's just in his garage.
Yeah, like it's for him.
But
yeah,
it's also
but that's another
recorded and on Spotify. So
that's another reason I don't like the song. I feel like that adds to my distaste for it, because you're not just in your garage. You're putting this music out there on your CD, and it's like it doesn't sound good.
Doubly ironic.
It's just, yeah. I wrote down, I really don't like the way he says garage. He does make a lot of references in the song, like personal references, like his favorite rock band Kiss, and all these different names. Then I didn't know like any of them, which isn't anything bad with the song, but it's like does nothing for me. And I felt like the like I can appreciate the lyrics and what he's saying. It makes sense, but I feel like it doesn't match well with the music, and like the guitar's really distorted and sounds like it's like a rock style, but the lyrics are more like I don't know, it should go with a softer kind of musical style. That's how I felt.
So I do agree with Steven and Caleb also, but at the same time, it's also about insecurity also, because if you're insecure, you might not be able to function right or be able to try to put out your dreams. I mean, you can try, but it's also talking about when you are insecure at that moment. So that's a big thing for everybody. So that's one thing that's really relatable that I find. But like overall, the song in general, I feel like the song was kind of put together sloppy. I find, especially with the audio with the music. The lyrics, I don't like the way how he repeats "I do" twice. And the solo was kind of, yeah, there wasn't much work into it, I find.
So it seems like In the Garage is the least favorite on the album.
So
Actually, maybe the
far.
Sweater Song for you, just because of the outro. But
just the outro.
I like In the Garage, actually. I like that he's singing just about the different stuff that he likes. Like, he starts out, and like Rivers is a nerdy dude, and he starts out by saying he's got his Dungeon Master guide, he's got his 12-sided die, like he plays D&D.
Yeah.
He's a nerd, he likes Kiss. Not that liking Kiss is nerdy. I mean, I don't like Kiss that much. They're kind of weird, but yeah, it's just cool that he's, like Caleb's saying too, about like maybe he's feeling insecure to play in front of people, but the garage is his place that he goes, and he's got all his stuff that he likes, and it's like it's his space for him, for his me time, basically. I have very minimal things to say about Holiday, so I'll start it off. Although it is a fantastic song, I really like that one. The only thing that I wrote is 3/4 timing, very uppity. Like, it's got a really steady pace. It's another one where it's like all downstrokes, and it's like, it's very, I don't know, it's just, it's steady, it's fun, it's like a feel-good song. Everyone likes a Holiday.
Yeah, the vibe for Holiday, it matches the. I think the overall vibe of the album is meant to be just kind of fun and carefree, and all of the best songs on it are. So this one, in particular, I loved the part where they go, heartbeat.
Same for me. I put that on.
Heartbeat. I love that part, and
Because it
also
changes.
the bridge is weird, but I liked it. It was like weird in a good way, and I just think it's probably one of their underrated songs because it's really good, but not very much played.
Yeah, I liked this one, but the bridge was really weird.
It was.
That's all I wrote.
Really?
So, I also really like how they picked up for the heartbeat part and then went down. And then Holiday was also a little bit different from the rest of the chorus, which I also liked when they said holiday. I think my interpretation of the song is basically savor life, and be careful what you do, and just enjoy life. That's what I have for it.
Okay. And the grand finale, the longest song on the album, Only in Dreams. I'll let you guys say what you want to say about it first.
I like the bass line.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I could tell, it's a love song for an imaginary girl, which I thought was kind of sad. Not just that she's imaginary, but just because of his mental state, I guess. And the fact that he can't find a real girl. Yeah, the writing for that song, like the way they write their lyrics, I feel like is kind of weird. You know,
He's
like
a weirdo.
the number of syllables isn't like what you were expecting.
Sometimes, yeah. Like Garage.
I also felt like since the song is so long, it also gets kind of boring. So,
Okay.
but I mean, it's not a bad song.
I also liked the bass line. I felt like the intro for the song got me kind of hyped because the bass was really good, and then the guitar came in playing something different, and I felt like it didn't go well with the bass line, and it felt like it kind of squashed it. Which I don't know if anyone else would agree, but that's how I felt. And I really do like the lyrics. Like, they're tragic and romantic, and it just would make a great song. I don't know, there's something about the guitar in that song that's off-putting to me. Maybe it's because, like the rest of the album, it's kind of grungy and rocky when it's meant to be more of a slow, soft kind of song. I feel like it'd go a lot better with maybe orchestral instruments, like OK Human. I feel like that would fit the vibe a lot better.
I think part of the thing that you're saying with the guitar too, how it kind of sounds off-putting, is because instead of hitting on the beat, he's like, I feel like he's doing light strums on the acoustic, but they're on the offbeat. so it sounds weird
Maybe that's what it was.
because of the amount of time that it's ringing. Like, it does sound a little odd.
I didn't like it. And then the outro, it doesn't sound bad, but it's very, very long, and it's just kind of annoying to have an outro that long.
All right, so for this song, I have a lot to say.
Really?
Enough to say.
Okay.
So I like the way how it's slow and it picks up with the raunchiness. I don't like it like a lot, but I like it a little bit. In certain circumstances, because it's a little bit different than what Weezer does in their newer stuff. So it's kind of interesting to hear their more raunchier style for that song.
Sorry, it's just that, I mean, technically, like, grungy rock, it is kind of more of a raunchy sound, or grungy. It's just raunchy. It's just a funny word for it. It is accurate, though, like, for what you're saying.
Okay, sorry, yeah. My choice of words wasn't the greatest, but,
If you want to talk about raunchy, wait till the Pinkerton.
Oh. So, yeah, solo was pretty good. It feels like a long relief from the song, but then after you think that, then it just turns out the solos just takes forever to get done with, and takes forever for the song to end. So that's one thing I did not like about that.
Okay.
Was it took forever. Like, I liked the way I was building up, and then it took too long.
And then you're just kind of waiting for it to be done.
Mm-hmm.
So, in regards to what you're saying about an imaginary girl, I feel like the song's actually about a real girl, but he's too scared to talk to her. So he's basically settling for only being with her in his dreams, because he doesn't have the courage to actually speak to her.
Still sad.
It is, yeah. Even more sad, I would maybe argue. As far as the style, it's almost like with the way that the bass line is, the pace that it is, it's almost really similar to the intro of the Sweater song. Like, the bass line is similar to the bass in the Sweater song. And then there's a song. There's a song that's an outtake from the Blue album. That's actually, it's on Death to False Metal, which we will get to eventually. They ended up putting that in as part of it's like a bunch of unreleased songs that they put all together as a compilation. So it almost sounds like a cross between the Sweater song and Michael and Carly, which is that unreleased song, which I actually really, really like. It's a shame that it didn't actually make it onto the Blue album, but I'm glad they did eventually release it. And as far as the long, convoluted outro, I wrote, cool outro, nice finish, the band just chilling, then building, going nuts. I think that they did so to fill the vinyl, because, like, I guess CDs were out back then, but vinyl were still really big, and they're becoming bigger again now, but, like, bands had to be strategic, because you can only fit an exact amount of time max on each side, so they had to be strategic about which songs are on which side, and it's like they didn't have enough songs to fill it, so they're like, okay, this is the last song, we have this amount of time to fill, so let's just go nuts and see what happens. So they just wanted to, increase the length of time of the album and not have wasted space on it, basically.
Makes sense.
And then it's cool that everything bows out, and then it ends exactly how it starts with the bass line.
Yeah, I liked that.
And does anybody else have anything to say about that song? Or can we move on to overall impressions?
Just that I thought it was funny that I almost fell asleep.
Yes. Yeah, during Only in Dreams, no less. Okay, so we're going to move on to our outro, conclusion, whatever you want to call it. Our final thoughts, if you will. So we'll start with our guest, Caleb. Once again, thank you for joining us. It was fun hearing your opinions on it with not having a lot of reference to Weezer already.
Yeah.
It was interesting to hear your thoughts, so thank you for joining us. And what are your final thoughts on the album, and what is your rating out of stars 1 to 5?
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me. So I'd probably rate the album overall like probably 4 out of 5, because I think it was a good album. Like, I wasn't like blown away, but it was pretty good. So yeah, I'd give it a solid 4 out of 5. And yeah, I don't usually like evaluate my music so much. I just kind of listen to it and enjoy it, or I don't enjoy it and I turn it off, like the song or whatever. But yeah, this is kind of fun. So yeah, thanks for having me on the show.
You're very welcome.
Was this your first time listening to the whole Blue album?
I think so. You may have showed it to me before when we were in the car one time.
I do have it in the car.
Unless that was the green one. I don't know.
If it was
I
the
also
green
have
one,
that one.
you would remember. Actually, no, you wouldn't remember at all. So it was probably the green one. Very
I think
forgettable.
it was the green one, so I don't think I went to the whole blue album.
I don't
Okay.
know, because before I had the green one, I listened to the blue one a lot.
Well, what's your take?
What is your take?
Your
My
final
take,
words.
I think I also give it a 4 out of 5. That's the number I had in my head, because overall, it is a really good album. I do like the vibes. I mean, usually when I put on music, I want something that's upbeat, that's feel good, something that's, just for the pleasure of listening to. And a lot of these songs are pleasurable to listen to. Like there's a few of them I would just put on any day of the week, like Say It Ain't So, Buddy Holly, No One Else, like, because I just really enjoy the sound. And then there aren't really any songs on it that really turn me off either.
For the outro.
The outro of Undone, I will just skip the outro, but the rest of it, is good. So,
All right.
Yeah, I would say 4 out of 5 as well.
All right, so for the Blue Album overall, also a 4 out of 5. I feel like that's what it deserves. You gotta remember it's also their first album, so it might not be their best, but at least they tried somewhere, which is the most important thing.
And it was greatly successful too, so it ended up,
Exactly.
it's what kicked them off.
And look where they are now.
My rating, by the way, I hope you guys realize, maybe you don't realize, you're allowed to do like this point this.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did think
Okay, I assumed you probably all knew you could do
Easier
that.
to round
My
up.
rating for the album overall is 4.5. There's very minimal things that I don't like about the album. Like, every song on it is at very least good. I really don't have too many negative things to say about it. And actually, my friend from work told me that somebody's first album should be their best album because they've had their whole life up to that point to write it.
I mean,
It's like that album is like, which I do realize, like, obviously it's the first go at it, it's going to be more sloppy, which the Blue Album is, but also it's like the things that you've gone through in your life or whatever, it's like the things that really have stuck out to you throughout your life up to that point. I feel like that's what the Blue Album is for Rivers, so it's kind of cool. So yeah, 4.5 out of 5. So thank you everybody for joining in. This has been WEEZCAST. That was
you
weak.
didn't say it. Let's try it again.
Okay, so this has been WEEZCAST. So thanks for listening, and let us know in the comments what you think if you've listened to the Blue Album, and if you want to go along with us, the next album on the list to go through is Pinkerton.
All right.
So that should be interesting. There's some really interesting songs on that one. Some pretty, I don't know, some of the lyrics on it are not the best, but
The
it
next
does
podcast will not be rated G.
possibly. It'll be at least PG-13.
Yeah, probably.
All right. This is Aiden Morden and
Stephen Prindler.
Caleb Chassis.
and
Caleb Prindler.
signing off.